And next, we are now coming to the final part of our presentation today, which is a Q&A. It's basically, it's time for you to ask anything. And of course, we have two speakers here. Of course, first we have David Martin, our current district director, and not forgetting our immediate past district director, Kevin. Of course, Kevin has a long list of, of course, they give me a long write up. I mean, pragmatic, romantic, husband, father, believes life is about being present in the moment. Of course, member for 13 years in many districts, roles, and clubs. And of course, one thing that when I look at Kevin's achievements, he is a four-time DTM, four DTMs, and soon going for the. I only stopped at one. Okay, but of course, it shows passion for serving and passion for learning. If you can do it four times, that's where Kevin has. Okay, shall we welcome David and Kevin to take, to handle the ask anything?
Related to Toastmasters.
Of course.
Stunned silence. I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Kevin.
Yep.
I'm looking, because there's been a club that's knocked back about probably 80 to 100 members in the last year. I'm wanting to put a club in that vicinity nearby. Can I call it the same name but slightly different? Or does it have to be a totally different name?
No, there's no mandate around the names, but I'd suggest you need to call it something different so that it distinguishes itself.
Yeah, so it'll be slightly different, but yeah.
Yeah, so you could have, let's say, Frankston, which is a existing club. You could start a club called Frankston South, for example.
Okay, so let's say it was Bondi Club. You could call it Bondi Beach Toastmasters.
Yes, absolutely. As long as you don't make it as complicated as Adelaide. I've lost track trying to understand which Adelaide clubs are which. Okay, so Bayside Beach. Yeah.
Yes, it's Bayside that's knocked back. Yeah, quite a lot of people because they've got too many members.
Yeah.
Who put Bayside Beach in? That's quite good.
Rowan.
Oh, cool.
It doesn't have to be a location-based either. Remember, there's lots and lots of clubs out there that just actually have other reasons for naming them, pro speakers, etc., and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
The moment you again, depending on whether or not it's a physical club or a hybrid, you are limiting yourself the moment you attach a geographical context to the name of your club, if you're going to go hybrid at some point.
Okay.
But it can be easier from a marketing point of view if you call it Frankston, for example, rather than Friendly Friday Toastmasters. People might look at Frankston and say, oh, Frankston South. Yep, that's near me. I get it. So they're the two arguments. One, you're locking yourself down. The other one, you're making it easier to market.
Yep. So let's say you were going to go with Bayside Beach and you wanted to contact over 80 to 100 people that have been interested in joining Bayside Club. Do I need to get Sue to email all those people, or can I just email them?
Depends on where you got the information from and your right to use it.
Okay.
I would suggest.
Simon, I'd also consider finding an appropriate location that might give you some insights to a suitable name
Hmm.
in terms of a venue and anything that you want to play off.
Okay.
If you're sending to more than 19, yes, please send it to me.
Okay.
But so they're not members.
No, they're not members. They're people interested in joining.
Find a guest book.
If they're not members, then that's up to David and to advise.
Come on, there's got to be other questions.
When I was initially at the beginning with Janine, she mentioned something about moments of truth. And I could be wrong, but I don't feel that they were discussed in this training. I may have missed it. But is that something that someone will care to explain to me? Something about moments of truth when attending a club? There's 6 or something like that?
Anything that we respond now wouldn't do it justice. May I suggest you look up Moments of Truth PDF Toastmasters, and you'll see both a manual and a chart which explains how to run it.
Yep.
And then you give David Martin a call and you ask him to share with you his Google pre-visit ability to run a kind of Moments of Truth before you do your visit.
I wasn't sure it was an actual thing that you ran. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you for clarifying. I'll look it up.
When you see it, you will say, okay, I get it.
Okay. Thank you.
And it's something a club should be running independently at least every year. Anyone that doesn't is kind of deceiving themselves on an opportunity to find out what the club thinks of them and how the club works, and to just do that introspection on recognizing, we do the welcome of guests really well, but we don't have very exciting meetings. And the Moments of Truth is a way of being able to express that and to be able to workshop through it, particularly if you've got a reasonable number of members in the club. It's not so easy when you're down to the 8s and 12s. But yeah.
Thank you.
The thing you'll discover very rapidly, Rowan, is the fact that Toastmasters has a manual for everything. The challenge is finding it and recognizing whether it's still current.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I'm thinking of doing a whip around, particularly for those people that haven't been seen or heard much of today, Robert, Janet, Peter, Laura, Nadine, and asking, what was your key takeaway from today? What did you get the most out of? And what, if any, challenges or apprehensions do you have about your role? So that perhaps if there's anything niggling under the surface, we can get it out and also get some feedback about the event. So Robert, you've turned your camera on. Do you have a key takeaway or a little niggling concern that you'd like to ask about? Robert, you were on mute. Can you try again? Oh, you can't. Okay.
But I think I interpreted the gesture as thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert. I think maybe that happened earlier. I'm going to cross to Janet now and ask her for some thoughts on the day.
I think it was a very well presented workshop, so thank you very much for that. I did send a message to Sue because I haven't received an email about how to log in and set up my District 73 Area Director account, and that may be because I was quite late in accepting the role. The one thing that perhaps you could just, someone might be able to share on the screen again, was how to access on the Toastmasters International website the list of members in the area and their contact details. There was a report that was mentioned earlier.
You won't see that for about another week, Janet.
Okay, thank you.
Your details need to go to TI. TI will then upgrade your interface, and then you'll see a district panel on your.
That's why I can't find it. Thanks for that, Kevin. Maybe you and I need to catch up at some point.
Yep, no worries.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's been a great day.
Thanks for that feedback, Janet. I also noticed that Beck or someone put in the chat, when do we get our name badges? Now, David's already shown that he has them. So if it's possible for you to physically make contact with David, he could hand it over. If not, let me just tell you that we are having an in-person event. Thanks, Chris and Mark, you're a long way away. We're having an in-person event on the 31st of August. If it was at all possible for people to get to that event, which will be held at the Hawthorn Library, we can be handing over name badges and possibly trophies for your areas and division. Mark, we'll make a special plan for you. Chris, you too. Beck, will work something out for you. But for everyone else, try and get to this coming in-person event, which you will see promotion for shortly. And now I'm going to call on Nadine, because it's nice to see your face, Nadine. You've been with us all day, but camera off a fair bit. So how did you find the day? What was your key takeaway? And do you have any niggling concerns you'd just like to ask about?
No, I really, really enjoyed it. Actually, it was a lot of information to take in. So hopefully when I start digging around, I'll be able to find all these wonderful slides that you guys put up with directions on how to do things, which I've found great. I loved Robin's section because that was something I had trouble with last time. I did area director last year as well for the same area. So this year it's going to feel quite different doing it as it did last year. So that big learning curve last year, and this year I think having Simon Meyer in my club as well is going to make it a lot easier, and knowing two of the other area directors in our area as well. Well, B2 and B1, I think they are. One of the other area directors is in our club, and the other one, Rowan, being at Kingston, which I got quite a good relationship with Kingston. So so the information that you gave us regarding doing the club visits, all of those sorts of things, and I've done so many competitions now, that's something that comes much easier to me, thankfully. Though I'm looking forward to actually building a better relationship with the other area directors. So no, I really, really loved it. I've put my name down for the WhatsApp communication as well. So yeah, I look forward to getting in touch with other area directors and just picking brains for a bit. So no, I loved it. It was really good.
Oh, thanks for that response, Nadine. And I'll just say to all of you that if you can go back to the email that was sent yesterday, which it has a link to Dot Resources. So it has a link to the resources that were shared in our sessions on the 6th and 7th of July.
Okay.
We'll add more stuff to that because there might have been stuff that was unique to today that will go in there. But that's a very handy link to a folder that you can go back to again and again. And Peter or Laura, if you're there and you have any questions, please feel free to ask now.
I'm pretty good. I live with the district director, so I've also got a very amazing and supportive division director in Manning, so I'm pretty good. And my question was answered by you in the chat, so I'm looking forward to having another look through Sue's presentation. But otherwise, yeah, I've just been listening and observing today. It's been good.
All right, thanks, Laura.
I have something for show and tell.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Beck?
Woohoo! That's yours.
I'll actually be in Melbourne on the 31st. So
Oh, beautiful. Any chance you could come to Hawthorn Library?
if you send me the times, I'll see if
I will do that, but it'll come out soon in an email, but I'll send it to you personally. Anne, I see you there.
Yes, I just thought of a question regarding, I heard last year you could apply for some, I think you called it a grant or something or other like that, for tech things like web cameras or going hybrid, etc. Is there any chance of those finance for those things this year, or is that just fallen off the radar? And by the way, I did apply last year and I never got a reply, so that was that. But we tried hybrid. We need to get it to the next level. as in computer, camera, microphones, etc. So is there any support from the district money-wise for that sort of stuff?
And send me an email and tell me what you're looking for.
Did whoever was the finance manager last year, before the end of the Toastmasters year, sent out something, we're giving people money, send us invoices? I did all that. And it went nowhere. So yes, I'll try again.
Yeah, or resend that, Anne.
Oh, I'm sure that those invoices, the money's gone up by now. I'll get the tech people who are looking at it, because we did try hybrid. We couldn't get the camera properly and we couldn't get the volume to work properly. But we do have over 20 members. Some of them, like one of our members who's been a member for a long time, is going overseas, but she'd still love to be part of the meetings if she can join by a hybrid.
Yeah, I can't see us getting equipment for that member, but for the whole club, if you've got...
Oh, no, she doesn't need specific equipment. It's the club that needs the equipment.
Right.
It's the club's ability to film the meeting and have a good microphone so that the good volume for the meeting. This person herself has the personal stuff. That's not the problem. It's what we do at the club that's the problem.
I think some clubs can get grants from various places, but I'm not sure on that one.
Oh, I've gone through the grant writing thing till I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
We
I know
haven't had
one
any
got a
luck.
grant, but yeah, but it
We
does
haven't
depend.
had any luck with the grants, but I've done grant writing till I said I'm handing over to someone else. I'm sick of grant writing.
Fair enough.
Okay, we'll leave that one for Anne to follow up with David. And I'll just point out that Sue's put in the chat a link to the resources folder that's already been created. And we'll probably be adding some more stuff to that. Before we finish up, Bryony, Chris, any comments that you'd like to add? Bryony.
Nothing specific, just been quite helpful, and yeah, lots of good information shared today. Thank you.
Thanks, Bryony. Chris, you're an experienced campaigner.
Well, I've missed out on the trip, I suppose, but it's been very good.
Okay, glad to hear it. Anyone else out there that I haven't invited to share that would like to comment or raise a question? Okay, I think we're close to finishing up then. I just will share with you one thing. I mentioned before that we are going to run one more club officer training session. You will see some information about this as soon as we get our Zoom link sorted and registration. So the club officer training, the last one for this period run by D73, will be held on Sunday, the 25th of August. It will be online so that everyone can attend. We're going to have two presentations focusing, Rowan, on Moments of Truth and the Distinguished Club Program. And there will be breakout rooms which will go in-depth training for each of the club officer roles. So please note that date now. If you're an area director, share it with your clubs. Especially you can look on dashboards and see which clubs haven't already sent club officers to training. If you're a division director, you can pass it on to your area directors, make sure they all know, spread the word, and let's have a good turnout to that last club officer training session. I have put some handy emails in the chat. They've already been referred to. I'd welcome any feedback about the session if you want to send it to the PQD email. And before we finish, I would like to give a very big thank you to our presenters. Starting from the top, we had Manny, our Toastmaster of the day, BJ, who was a brilliant presenter, and then a tech nerd, and then another brilliant marketing presenter. We've had David presenting about club visits, Robin telling us how to and what you can claim for. And we've had David and Kevin here to answer your questions. And lastly, I really want to thank all of you who've come here into the virtual space on a Sunday afternoon to spend time with us, and so that you can support the clubs that you are area director or division director for. I think we're going to have a wonderful year. We have a great team. We've got a full team. It's a fantastic place for D73 to be in. And I'm really looking forward to a lot of success this year and clubs that are thriving.